big surprises of the UK's recovery is that strong demand for labour, growing employment, has been accompanied by declining real wages. So wages after inflation have actually declined over the last 10 years. Normally, of course, in economics, you associate surges in demand with increasing prices. That hasn't been the case with the UK labour market. I think there are a couple of reasons why this has happened. The first is that there's been a lot of uncertainty in the last 10 years. Growth has been quite sluggish. Events have been, to put it mildly, changeable. The second reason is that the labour market's changed in a big way. The nature of work's changing. We've seen growth in self-employment, part-time work, agency work, growth in the so-called gig economy. I think all of these factors have tended to put downward pressure on wages. But although the relationship between wages and labour demand may have weakened, we don't think it's dead. And there are three reasons why we think 2018 will be a year of somewhat higher wage pressures. Firstly, we are seeing evidence that people have become much more willing to change jobs. During in the period immediately after the financial crisis, a big decline in job changing, moving from one job to another. People were tending to stay put for obvious reasons. There was a lot of uncertainty. The latest data show that so-called job-to-job moves, people moving in search of pay and seniority, have risen in the UK to a 17-year high. So people are becoming more footloose. And I think that's indicative of a labour market where there are a lot of job opportunities where unemployment's low. Secondly, skill shortages and recruitment difficulties are picking up. It's getting harder to find the right people to do the job. The Bank of England reported that skill shortages have spread from areas like software engineering and manufacturing and construction, where they've been around for quite some time, to areas like warehousing, food manufacturing, agriculture, hospitality, where until recently there's been abundant labour. And they say that one of the factors has been an increasing difficulty in securing non-UK labour, migrant labour. And that's the third factor which I think is changing. In the last 10 years, the UK and UK employers have been able to count on really an abundant supply of high quality workers from outside the UK. In the last 10 years, around about 3/4 of the growth, 2.7 million jobs that have been created in the UK have been met from people born outside the UK, and about half of those, and just under half, have come from within the EU, mainly the Central European nations. Now, of course, Brexit's made a big difference. It's created uncertainties, and it's also led to a big devaluation of the pound, which has made the pound less valuable if you're sending it back home to Hungary or Poland. And these factors are driving a slowdown in the growth of the EU labour force in the UK. Growth has slowed quite a lot over the last couple of years. So pulling this all together, I think what we're seeing is a very tight labour market. Unemployment's at a 40-year low. We're seeing skills shortages. People are becoming more willing to change jobs in search of higher pay and seniority. And of course, the labour market is no longer getting this tremendous boost from EU labour. Brexit's changed the terms of reference, and I think what this all means is that we're going to see wage pressures rising in 2018, with the UK, to use the phrase used several years ago by the then Prime Minister David Cameron, the UK getting a pay rise.